What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today, we are going to talk about how to get ahead of everybody else and how to do it very, very fast. Let's talk about how to get light years ahead of your competition and how to separate yourself from people in a very short time. So when you see the world with everything that's going on right now, what do you notice? What do you see? One of the things that I see, and something we all see and are also a part of, is people are getting more and more addicted to technology. And I use the word addiction on purpose because the meaning of addiction is being drawn to something that you can no longer control. And a lot of people can no longer control their use of technology. How much they use their phone, how addicted they are to social media, how addicted they are to certain TV shows. How you can go down a rabbit hole, clicking on one thing to the next and go further and further and further, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until you look up and 30 minutes has passed by. And if you can notice this and figure out how and where you fit in with it, you can get ahead and be successful in any industry, and you can get ahead of your competition. So the way the world is going right now, people are becoming more and more addicted. I can't say the word addicted. People are becoming more and more addicted, which means they're spending less time building their business, less time educating themselves, less time trying to grow, less time in the gym, less time stepping outside their comfort zones. So they're going down this one path, and I decided I'm going to go down another path. I'm going to try and make myself as less connected as I can. What do I mean by that? So I did some research before making this episode, and the average person watches 3.2 hours per day of Netflix, which is about 1/8 of your entire day, which is about 1/5 of the time you're awake during the day. And the average person spends 4.1 hours a day on their phone, and 2 hours and 20 minutes of that are on social media. So let me spit those numbers out again so we can get a grasp of this. So 3.2 hours a day on Netflix, 4.1 hours a day on their phone, and about 2.5 hours of that is on social media per day. Now, in turn, the human attention span has gone down by 33% in the past 20 years. 33%. Now, question, do you think it's going to keep going down? Abso-damn-lutely, it's going to keep going down. And if attention spans have been going down, that means that we are more distracted, which means focus is harder and harder to have for us. So you want to learn how to be basically superhuman, a superhuman among others, among normal people who are more and more distracted and less focused and pay more and more attention on their phones and screens. Trade entertainment for education and action. Let me say that again. If you want to get really far ahead of everybody else in this world, with the future we have for us, with the way this world is trending, trade your entertainment for education and action. Now, what I'm not saying is to never be entertained. Definitely entertain yourself, but be very aware of how much time you're spending entertaining yourself. Because most people, they looking at cat videos, watching random stuff on TikTok, watching somebody try to chug a full bottle of Sprite, or watching gardening videos, or home improvement videos, or suspense documentaries, and the list goes on and on and on. For me, it's sports. And so instead of doing that, start getting smarter. Read so you can further your knowledge. Take action so that you can grow your business while your competition is being distracted while they entertain themselves watching videos of other people that are under 60 seconds. And again, there's nothing wrong with entertainment, but there is a point where you can have too much of it and you realize that the rest of the world is going in this direction with having more and more screen time. Now, I don't know much about it, but this whole metaverse thing that's supposed to be our future with people walking around with screens in front of their faces, hell no. I don't want any of that at all. And look, I love virtual reality games. It's fun as hell. But come on now. At the end of the day, I want to walk around in reality. It's way fucking better here, right? My point is, we need to take a step back and look around at what the world is right now and also the direction it's headed. And what I think I need to be doing is doing the exact opposite. I'm seeing the direction of where everything is headed, and instead of getting sucked in, I'm doing the opposite. And I'm not saying stay off social media completely because it's necessary, especially if you have a business. And you should 100% keep up with all the ways it changes and it trends. But the key is to not let that addiction take over. And look, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong, but that's what I'll be doing. And if you feel that vibe that I'm feeling, then you should definitely roll with it too. Now, I'm not saying to live in a cave or to go off the grid and only use landlines and get rid of all screens and cell phones. No, I still use all those things. I'm still going to watch Netflix and sports and look at social media and all that. But I will be more intentional with how I use it. So instead of letting myself slip into that hole of social media and slipping into binge watching Netflix for 5 hours straight, I'm being more intentional with how I feel I need to use it. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here and let's get back to it. And me personally, and if you follow me on social media, then you can see what I mean. But I've decided to lean into not being so much of a consumer on social media as opposed to being more of a creator. And that's just me. If it's not your thing, then you don't have to. But I know with the places I want to go and the goals I have for myself and my business, that's what I need. And at the same time, it'll limit my time getting sucked in because I'm doing more creating than consuming. And again, that's just me. And even though I know and am conscious of how all these things work, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, YouTube, I know how they work with their goal. The goal is to get you sucked in, and I still get sucked in. And I tend to be less focused and way more distracted. And if I'm being honest, I was recently so embarrassed with myself when this realization hit me. I was somewhere, I think at a restaurant or something, and I was sitting there on my phone, and some minutes had passed by. And when I consciously became aware of what I was doing, like 5 minutes had went by. And this is my third time picking up my phone, and I was just cycling through apps, my home screen, and my tabs on internet. And I wasn't actually reading or doing anything. But my subconscious was so addicted to having that damn phone in my hand, my brain and my hands were literally just going through the motions with the phone in my hand. And in that moment, my brain was basically nothing. I had nothing in there. I was a slave to my phone. I was thinking about nothing. And when I came to and realized that I had this phone in my hand and I was literally doing nothing with it, I was embarrassed. I realized that, yep, I'm addicted. So I'm trying to change that and change that ASAP. And let's just think about this math for a second. If I spend 4.1 hours a day on my phone, and that's average around the world. If I spend that much time every day, So I'm turning 36 in June. Let's say I want to live past 90 years old. That's 54 more years. And I did the math. If I spend 4 hours a day on my phone, and I'm sure as the years go on, that number is going to increase around the world. But if I did 4 hours a day for the next 54 years, that will be 9 years of my life that I spent on that goddamn phone. 9 whole years of my life. If that ain't a waste of time, I don't know what is. Staring at a screen for 9 years. So the question is, how do we limit this? How do we keep ourselves from falling into this phone trap all the damn time? Well, the answer is you have to work at it. Maybe you have to turn your phone off. Maybe you have to put it on airplane mode. Maybe you have to install an app that keeps track of your social media time. There are apps that you can set them up to block your access to social media during the times that you set it to. And you can always put your phone in a completely different room. So many people say this works. Maybe you leave it in the living room. Maybe you leave it in the kitchen drawer, wherever, as long as it's out of sight and not drawing your attention. Because you better believe if you see it, you're going to reach for it. So the point is, distance yourself from all the things that are going to be a distraction to you. And as simple as it sounds, as plain and comprehensible as it sounds, but you will be amazed at how much time you have during the day if you didn't look at your phone. And not having enough time is people's main reason for not doing a lot of things in life. Not just goals, but everything. And in reality, 95% of the time, if you just put the phone down, you'll be surprised. You will surprise yourself at how much you will be able to accomplish, which will be way more than you thought you could. Time will just appear for you. And I told you what I'm focused on earlier. So ask yourself, how can you move the needle in your life and take action and not just walk through life being entertained? And the education part is definitely a big part of it. You can say, okay, I want to learn how to do X, Y, Z. So you read more books and you think to yourself, okay, how can I trade my entertainment for my education? Again, I'm not saying that you can never be entertained, and we should really think about what we're doing to our minds by not growing them and only allowing them to see screens to entertain us. Which one do you think is better? Sitting on your phone watching cat videos? And cat videos ain't my thing, but they are entertaining. Nothing wrong with cat videos. I like cats. I like videos. You put them together and boom, I can see why people like them. But imagine if you decided to work on a side hustle and you dedicate 12 hours a week for a year. And let's say that side hustle starts to be successful and brings you in more money. And now you can use that money to take a trip out of the country. Which one do you think is better in the long run? Sitting and being entertained by cat videos, or the fact that you're looking at some cool ass monument that you used to only see in pictures and now you're taking pictures of it with your phone? Which one would you prefer? So you can start to distance yourself from those things that people are getting more and more drawn into. You're going to separate yourself and you're going to be ahead. And you're going to have way more focus. You're going to be able to take more action. You'll be that much more educated than the next person. And the key, again, with all this technology and social media and all the distractions, the key is, how can I not get sucked in and instead use it to my benefit? It's easy to go down a rabbit hole on YouTube, but it's also easy to find videos on how to grow your brand. It's easy to watch sports all day, every day, but it's also easy to watch landscaping videos to teach yourself a new skill. It's easy to get sucked into what celebrities are doing in their relationships, and it's also just as easy to learn about going into real estate. Same technology, same phone, same TV. So how will you distance yourself? How can you look at what everybody else is doing and recognize how everybody is getting less and less focused and more distracted? How can I distance myself from this thing and make my focus better, make my attention span better, make my knowledge better? You're going to stand out and stand apart from what society is creating. Notice how much time you're spending on social media. Notice how much time you're spending on your phone, how much time on Netflix, and ask yourself, is this adding to my life or getting me closer to my goals? And if it is, then cool. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. But if it's not, what can you replace it with that will add value to your life, to your kids' life, to your family's life? What would that thing be that will separate you from the pack? Because we see where the world is headed. Yes, adapt and keep up with the changing world, but also don't get sucked in and allow yourself to just drift without standing apart from the masses. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.